Former WBO junior middleweight titleist Tszyu returned this Easter weekend for a stab at the WBO International Middleweight title. Tim is now moving up to the middleweight division, and he took on Dennis Nurja. Let's talk about what happened here and what could be on the horizon for Tim in the future. When Tszyu entered the arena to take on Dennis Nurja from Albania, this was to set the record straight for himself because Tszyu has had a rough go of it the last couple of years. Out of his last 6 fights, he has 3 losses and 3 victories. But the losses have come hard, beginning in 2024, March of that year, against Sebastian Fundora, where he suffered a terrible cut across the bridge of his hairline in the center of his forehead. And instead of taking the opportunity to pull out of that fight due to the injury, they went on through with it, and he ended up losing a split decision. That cut was terrible. He lost a lot of blood in that fight, and he had to sit out for an extended period of time because of the way that it healed. He did return in October of 2024 against Bakram Murtazaliev, and he suffered a vicious, brutal knockout at the hands of Murtazaliev. So suddenly, Tim was back against the ropes. But he bounced back against Joseph Spencer in April of 2025, scoring a TKO win over Spencer, who he brought over to Australia. And it was a situation where that fight wasn't a good fight for Spencer. He was not of Tim Tszyu's level. But again, when he decided to try fate by going into the ring against Sebastian Fundora in July of 2025, he found exactly what was on the card for him. Fundora defeated Tszyu brutally in a fight, a rematch that no one expected. He was down on the canvas in the first round and ended up suffering a 7th round retirement. He just couldn't take any more of the abuse from the taller, rangier Sebastian Fundora. Now, he has followed that up with a victory against Anthony Velasquez, where he won a 10-round decision, and that was in December of 2025. Bringing us to this weekend's fight against the Albanian Dennis Nurja. Now, Nurja is a fighter that a lot of people don't know. He entered this bout against Tszyu with a record of 20 wins, no losses, and 9 KOs. But fighting out of Albania, he hasn't taken on any fighters that would be recognizable. And so therefore, this was a situation that was just totally a showcase for Tszyu. Now, Tszyu in this fight had the ups. Though the Albanian fighter was game and a little bit rough, The fight wasn't an easy one. They were grappling, they were shoving, elbowing, and Tszyu, whom was fighting at home in Australia, had Nurja down in the 4th round. But roughhouse tactics and holding led the referee, Les Fear, to take a point from him in the 7th round for holding. There were several instances in this fight where Tszyu looked like he had Nurja on the ropes and ready to go. But somehow, some way, he managed to hold his form in shape and come back from teetering after being hurt several times. He ended up going the distance and losing a unanimous decision, to Tim. And Tim even questioned how tough the kid was because he thought that he was going to get him out of there. But it wasn't to be. Now, what this tells me is that Tim, who's going to try and campaign at middleweight, may be a little bit in over his head. Maybe he fought this as a catch weight situation because he weighed in at 156.5. So we're going to see, because Errol Spence's name is on the dossier for him next. And if Spence decides to go through and take a fight with Tim Tszyu, it's probably going to be at middleweight. But it remains to be seen if the fight will come about. This match was on Amazon Prime. It was a PBC cross promotion. And somehow, some way, Tim Tszyu would be more inclined to try to get Errol Spence to come to Australia. I'm not so certain that's going to happen. But PBC is running a weird game with their fighters. They're fighting within a certain realm, but they are not looking to venture out and fight on a broader scale internationally and as far as the depths of top contention. What I don't like about all of this is there have been fighters who have been put on the sideline and the afterburners, and they haven't fared well as a result. Tszyu is a victim of circumstance himself. And now, when you look at him, he's, 31 years of age? I think Errol Spence is about 34 or 35. So all of these fighters who should have been fighting each other years ago are now looking for opportunities in the twilights of their careers. And they are more vulnerable as they find themselves looking to face one another at this stage of their careers. I'm not certain that that's the best thing for all parties involved, but it's something that could be entertaining because of those vulnerabilities. Tim Tszyu has been stopped a couple of times brutally, and Errol Spence has been out of the ring for several years. I don't know what they can expect from a fight like that between those two. But sooner or later, one of the young lions is going to come up, and they're going to be cruising for a name on their dossier. Will one of these men, Tszyu, Spence, even Charlo, be willing to offer up for one of the younger lions? That remains to be seen. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think about Tim Tszyu's comeback. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.